A confirmation hearing for the Director of National Intelligence. That role it's also happening on Capitol Hill today. Jay Clayton is testifying before lawmakers. The opening came after Tulsi Gabbard resigned due to her husband's cancer diagnosis. Here's some of what we've heard today.
If you're going to follow official purposes, you cannot declassify information for political purposes. Will you promise that you will not do that?
Senator, I promise that my declassification exercises will be consistent with the role, and I believe that there are a number of protections in place across the intelligence community to ensure that intelligence is not used for political purposes, and I intend to adhere to those.
CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small is following this on Capitol Hill for us today. Taurean, what else have you heard?
Yeah, Mugo, that hearing just breaking. Quite the chaotic scene behind me. In fact, one protester of that hearing came out, was just arrested by police and escorted out. As we see senators being evacuated behind me because of this brief recess, I got to point out the fact that the through line in Clayton's testimony has been trust. He wanted to instill confidence that under his leadership, the intel community won't be weaponized, which was a cause for concern for quite a few Democrats on this panel. I want to point out, though, one interesting back and forth we saw from Senator Wyden, who left earlier right after his line of questioning to Clayton. He pressed him on his involvement in signing those subpoenas to four New York Times journalists, I should say. He maintained that this was an ongoing, he being Clayton, investigation by the United States, so he didn't want to speak too much on the matter, but Wyden wanted to get across whether or not he believed the First Amendment to be broached on as part of these investigations, which he feels are targeted by the Trump administration and being used for weaponization, for politicization. But again, how do we get here? Clayton was set to sit before this same panel about a month ago before President Trump ultimately decided to postpone it. The reason why is because at the same time, his interim replacement for Tulsi Gabbard, his predecessor, was Bill Pulte, who had no experience in the intel community. Senate Republicans and Democrats thought up a plan that would expedite Clayton's confirmation, as well as the move or the fast tracking of a key FISA provision that was set to lapse and has already lapsed in lieu of that confirmation hearing. The president instead asked for the SAVE Act to be passed out of Congress first, and then he also said he wanted Clayton's replacement to his current role to also be confirmed concurrently. So this is where we are today. Senator Cotton addressed that, or made mention to that, the fact that this is delayed, but ultimately though we're still waiting to see if he has the votes, at least from Republicans, for his confirmation. There hasn't been any major pushback from Republicans on this panel so far, but we'll still see if there are any stalwarts when it comes to the full floor for a vote.
Okay, Taurean Small, thank you.